Hey guys, welcome back to the Carpenter Blee YouTube channel, and today we're talking parts. More specifically, Saab 900 parts. Saab 900s are getting increasingly rare, and thus their parts are too. I recently became the steward of a Saab parts collection from obviously a Saab expert who knew a lot about the cars and collected parts that are vulnerable, wear quickly, and just common to break. So today I'll be sharing with you guys what he thought was a good idea to stockpile, so you guys know what to get as well. I've personally collected some odds and ends like a distributor cap and some body parts, but I feel like these aren't the main things that I need to be worried about, and the guy who collected the parts that I now own knew a lot better than me what is vulnerable in these cars. I'm not an expert by any means, but every item I find in these boxes makes perfect sense to stockpile as soon as I see it. So let's get into it. I can't take credit for these parts because I actually got these from a Saab collector who was moving on from the Saab brand, and he was actually selling all of these parts. So, of course, I took the opportunity to stock up for the eventuality of things breaking on my car. This collection is a mix of mechanical things, electrical things, accessories, and also just like body parts, sort of. To be completely honest, I don't even know what half this stuff is, but I mean, there's wires in here, there's, there's hinges, locks, sensors. Looks like an old kind of fuse thing. Despite my lack of knowledge, the parts that I can identify I know are useful, and in fact, a lot of them are already broken on my car, so I'm quite happy to have this collection to replace the broken parts on my car. This guy clearly knew what he was doing when he was stockpiling his parts, so stick around until the end for me to share with you all of the key things that he seemed to collect that I also know for a fact are kind of like perishables and break often. So if you're looking to stockpile things, maybe mimic this collection. Anyways, stay tuned. These are accessory gauges that show things like battery voltage, but these are not a necessity. Merely, they're just nice to have. These are what you're going to want to buy if you go to a pick and pull, or if you find in a yard sale or something. These are a mix of relays, switches, headlight switch. I think this is a defrost switch. All of these are useful to grab because these like wear off, these drawings, and they wear out and the clips break. I'm quite happy to have these just in case the things in my car break. This box is full of mechanical goodies besides what meets the eye initially. Obviously, these are corner lights, which are useful to have because they kind of stick out and break easily, but the stuff at the bottom of the box is most useful. In addition to these positive battery cables, which are nice to have, there's a lot of window motors and other things that break often. There's also this. I believe this is a cruise control ECU. Quite happy to have that. But one thing he grabbed a lot of are these, which is the side marker lights. And anybody who's had a Saab or an old vehicle that has these side marker lights know that these often break. So I'm pretty psyched to have, I think, like 10 of these from this collection. And these rubber gaskets, I believe, also go bad. And this is good on all of them, pretty much. So that's quite the score. This is an indicator assembly, or whatever you would call it. And I'm quite happy to have this. Thing that happens with these is they kind of break and they lose the ability to stay in place like that. And they also sometimes lose their self-canceling. They're rebuildable, but I'm quite happy to have one that is already in good shape. Here's a look at one of the boxes of parts spread out on the floor. And not entirely, there's still a lot left, but there's consistently a lot of wear items and parts that break easily that aren't necessarily wear items, but they're just vulnerable, such as these lenses. At the end, I'll kind of do a tally of some of the main parts that this guy collected and are obviously a good idea for you to collect. This box was weirdly filled with speaker grills, which kind of makes sense, I guess, because mine are actually broken on my car. But there's also a fuel pump, a fuel level sender, more of those side marker lights. The fuel pumps and senders make a lot more sense, and here you can see there's more of those. In addition, there's also gauge clusters, and mine is quite messed up, so I'm pretty thankful to have come across these. If you have a Project Saab 900 like me, you'll find that a lot of the things that are broken on your car are commonly broken, so stockpiling these parts is kind of a good idea. In the collection, there's also a power steering fluid reservoir, an alternator, and like an axle cup thing. I forget what it is specifically. Also, a bonus, a roof rack. Here's a mystery part for myself that I will show in a future video. And here's my takeaways of the items that this guy thought were the best to have. If you have anything to add, comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.